All right, family, thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. Welcome to Commitments Radio, the show that provides hope, healing, and help for relationships. We are building stronger and healthier relationships one conversation at a time. Here's my disclaimer. Opinions expressed by the host are not the opinions of the radio station, its owners, affiliates, or advertisers. Opinions expressed by guests are not necessarily the opinions of the host, the radio station, owners, affiliates, or any advertisers of the radio station or Commitments Radio. All right, family, we are in for a phenomenal show. I've been trying to get this guest onto our show for months and months and months, but her amazingly busy schedule will not allow it. So we have a really special guest. It is a good friend of mine, Dr. Dominique. Is it Dominique?
Yes,
Dominique Badea. Is it Badea?
yes.
Badea Gales, or is it Gales Badea actually?
Love Badea.
All right. Anyway, so Dr. Dominique Gales Badea, Dr. Badea, I call her Dr. D. She is our special guest on the show. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a Ph.D., obviously, a results-driven scientist with over 15 years of experience in a number of life sciences, molecular diagnostics, and kind of research areas. And she is a passionate advocate for diversity in STEM. Dominique mentors, ooh, not Dominique, Dr. Dominique mentors underrepresented students and works to expand access to careers in science and technology. She earned her PhD in integrative biosciences from Tuskegee University, where her research helped her launch her career in oncology and immunotherapy. And your master's is from Tuskegee as well, is it not?
Yes, that's correct.
And your master's is in what?
Biology.
Biology. All right. So STEM to her soul. And what was your bachelor's in?
It's in biology.
Biology as well. All right.
Mhm.
So believe it or not, unlike what people want you to believe, we do have blacks in sciences and math. And so Dr. D, Dr. Dominique is one of those. Outside of the lab, she enjoys family life, especially with her daughter, and she finds creativity in cooking. And this was new to me. I didn't know this until I read her bio, but she can burn, y'all. Uh, as much as she's talented in the lab, she's even more talented in the kitchen. So, Dr. D, welcome to Commitments Radio.
Thank you so much.
So we are going to jump right in. The reason I had her on the show actually is because with that incredibly impressive background, and by the way, I did not read everything that I could have read about her background and all the different accolades and things that she's accomplished. But you can certainly Google her. You will find out a lot, see some videos and things like that. But the reason why I wanted her on the show is because the name of this show is called Hired or Tired: Navigating the Modern Job Hunt. And this is something that Dr. D just recently, or not recently, but she has been involved with for several months now. And recently she was able to secure a position. So I really wanted to have a conversation because as she was kind of going through this process, she was posting it on LinkedIn and people were able to kind of see her journey. And I really wanted to have her on the show to talk about that journey. So Dr. D, what was the biggest challenge in your job search?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge wasn't just the job market, it was the mental and spiritual battle of starting over after being, unexpectedly laid off, right? So I gave myself a week to process everything and then I kind of just hit the ground running. But I didn't expect the amount of silence, the scamming, the
Mhm,
ghost
mhm,
posting, and just the outright rejection.
mhm.
So sometimes I was questioning if I had to take a retail job to stay afloat because I do have a family and the bills are not stopping because you're laid off, right? Life keeps
Yeah.
going. But what kept me grounded was prayer. I stayed on my knees.
Mhm,
I stayed in my word, and I just kept asking God to carry me through the season.
mhm.
And that's how I kept moving through the storm and just not around it.
So you talked for a moment about the ghosting. Talk a little bit more about what you mean by that.
Yes. So ghosting in two scenarios. So you would, reach out to different positions and you'll talk to someone initially, the hiring manager, and then all of a sudden the communication just stops.
Mhm,
So they don't send an email, they just stop talking to you.
Mhm.
Or I noticed that I would apply for positions and that position would disappear and 2 weeks later the position was back on. So I was asking myself, like, what is going on? Why am I seeing the same positions that are being reposted, but you're not getting any hits?
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to me. And what I found out is that it basically is a way for the market for the jobs to see how the market is going and who actually needs jobs and trying to basically keep a record of that in a sense.
Really. So I guess my only issue with all of this is that I hear what you're saying, but I think this is just a you issue. I don't think anybody else is going through this right now. Would you agree with that?
No, no, not at all.
And it is a thing, and I've certainly I'm kind of navigating that as well. But I'm just kind of curious, and we don't have any documentation, research, or anything on this, but why do you think people just ghost you? Why do you think they just stop talking to you, period? Because that's something I've heard a lot about.
Honestly, Ken, I'm still trying to figure that out. I have no idea. I think I'm a really professional person. I carry myself well. I put a lot of effort into reconstructing my resumes to make sure
Mhm.
I'm tailoring to those jobs. But I honestly don't. I don't have a answer for you. And I know I'm not the only one experiencing that. Based on my community and my my networks, I was
Mhm.
hearing multiple things about the same type of thing happening to those people
Wow.
as well.
So Dr. D, how did you leverage social media in your job search?
Yeah, so LinkedIn became both my tool and my testimony in a sense.
Mm,
I used it not to just apply for jobs, but as you mentioned earlier, but I wanted to share my knowledge. I wanted to share my journey as I was going through looking for these positions. And I connected with people who I felt like would pour into me professionally.
mhm,
So through that, I found like my tribe and I realized that I wasn't alone in this season. I had never seen so many open to work banners on pictures on LinkedIn ever since I've been using that platform. So that was really interesting to me.
yeah.
So it was a way to keep my light when I felt like it was becoming really dim and dark around me, and just helping others as well stay encouraged. So I wasn't just applying, I was showing up
Mhm.
even when I didn't feel like it, and just doing what I can do to stay focused and stay moving forward.
One of the things that I struggle with in your story is they don't come more qualified than you, Dr. D.
Mhm.
I mean, you have a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD, which everybody says, oh, you got to get your master's, oh, you got to get your PhD, as
Mhm.
if having these things means you will never have to worry about having a job. So talk for a minute about the kind of the psychological impact of knowing that you had struggled so long to get your master's and your PhD, and now you find yourself in a position where you're struggling to find a job.
It was hard.
Hmm.
Talk about a gut punch to your self confidence. And the one thing is, as an African American woman, already I have a strike against me. And then being in STEM, I have a strike against me. So just having that thought process of always having to prove yourself, it's exhausting.
Hmm.
You're always being questioned. You always just have to go the extra mile, the extra step. It was a lot, but I'm not my title. I just do what I love to do, and I move forward. So I tried to keep that in mind. And like I said, I was praying. I was asking God for understanding, wisdom to get me through this time,
Hmm.
resilience. Just get me through this storm, as
Hmm.
I was saying. I think I told you on our mini calls, I felt like I was in the wilderness, like,
Yeah, yeah,
and there
yeah.
was no way out of that. So I'm just blessed, and I'm grateful, and I take it as a learning.
Experience, yeah. And I think that's really fascinating. So would you still encourage people to get their masters and their PhDs?
Absolutely, we need more women. We need more African Americans in the room.
Hmm. Hmm.
We're not in rooms. We're not at the tables. We're not with the C-suite people. We need more of us there. It's getting better, but it's still not where it needs to be.
Do you think in any way that your PhD helped you in your job search?
Absolutely. I found out this week, actually, my first week of work, that I am the first PhD they've ever had in the company in my position. So I thought that was very interesting.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I find that really interesting as well, because again, a lot of people think that the education alone, just those letters on your resume, is what makes it happen for you, and that's not at all the case. We're going to go to break, but I want to talk a little bit coming out of break about how, and you said it, and I love what you said, I am not my title. And I want to talk a little bit about what exactly you mean by I am not my title and how that really played itself out in your job search. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to continue our discussion with Dr. Dominique Badea, who is just finishing her navigation of the job market on our show called Hired or Tired. You're listening to Commitments Radio on WDRB Media. We'll be right back after this break.